In a world where reality TV is king, there are certain moments that transcend mere drama and enter into the realm of pure chaos. The Love and Hip Hop reunion taping is usually a time for cast members to put their differences aside and give fans a somewhat happy ending, or at least pretend like they've worked through their issues. But not this time. This time, the reunion became a full-blown disaster, and at the center of it all, Mendeecees, who found himself in the middle of an out-of-control brawl that turned into an assault allegation, leaving him in handcuffs and facing a future that could lead to serious consequences. The night that was supposed to be a reunion special quickly spiraled into one of the messiest, most chaotic scenes reality television has ever seen. If you've watched any season of Love and Hip Hop, you know that the show thrives on drama, betrayal, and lots of back and forth between cast members. But what happened this time was something else entirely. Think WWE meets Jerry Springer, but with cameras rolling and no filter. We had fights, accusations, police involvement, and the kind of spectacle that could easily make your jaw drop. And the person at the center of it all was none other than Mendeecees. So, what went wrong? Well, let's take a step back and rewind to the beginning. The reunion taping started like any other reunion special. Lots of cameras, flashy lighting, and the cast members walking in like they were heading into a high school prom. There was a general sense of excitement, mixed with a little bit of tension. But what nobody knew was that the tension was about to explode into full-on mayhem. Mendeecees, who had been through quite a bit over the years, was already walking into the venue with a certain energy. Sources close to the event claimed that he was pacing around, chains swinging, visibly angry, and giving off the kind of vibe that suggested trouble was coming. He wasn't exactly trying to hide his anger. And unfortunately for him, the person standing right in the middle of that boiling pot of frustration was Rashida. Now, if you're a Love and Hip Hop fan, you know that Rashida is a character with a reputation for being cool, calm, and collected on camera. But behind the scenes, there have always been whispers. People have speculated about her loyalty and what might really be going on in her personal life. That's where the drama between her and Mendeecees began. There were rumors in the air for a while. Accusations that Rashida had been mixing with Mendeecees' business rivals, rumors that she was playing both sides. The whispers had been circulating for months, but nobody knew just how deep it went. That night, Mendeecees was about to expose it all. When the cameras rolled, it didn't take long for Mendeecees to unleash his fury. He allegedly started throwing accusations at Rashida, accusing her of being two-faced and playing sides behind the scenes. The air in the room thickened as the tension grew palpable. Rashida, not one to let an accusation slide, didn't hesitate to clap back. She reportedly screamed at him, calling him a washed-up fraud who was mad that he wasn't the star anymore. And just like that, the gloves came off. What followed was an explosion of drama, with Mendeecees reportedly lunging at Rashida. Say the producers tried to intervene, but it was too late. Chairs were flying, drinks were being thrown, and security was scrambling to keep things under control. In the midst of the chaos, a security guard got caught in the crossfire, ending up with a busted lip and a torn headset. The reunion was quickly descending into an absolute disaster. And as if the drama wasn't wild enough, the audience was there, capturing every moment on their phones and live streaming the entire mess. Within minutes, clips were circulating on social media, with captions like, "Mendeecees goes full savage on Rashida," and "Bro, they're throwing hands on stage." Things were getting out of control fast, and the cast members weren't the only ones feeling the heat. But wait, the madness didn't end there. In what could only be described as the cherry on top of this reality TV nightmare, somebody, still unidentified, pulled the fire alarm. Panic ensued. Glitter heels were flying. One woman lost her wig, while another man tossed his shrimp cocktail at a producer and bolted. The whole situation was completely unhinged, with Mendeecees, and Rashida still at it like two pit bulls fighting over a piece of meat. It wasn't just a fight, it was a full-on spectacle. Finally, after what insiders described as the longest 3 minutes in reality TV history, the police arrived. The situation had gotten so out of control that law enforcement had to step in to separate the two. Mendeecees, allegedly still shouting at Rashida about fake loyalty and snakes in the grass, wasn't about to back down. He reportedly refused to calm down and was eventually arrested, dragged away in handcuffs like it was an episode of Cops. Meanwhile, Rashida, battered but still standing, was escorted out separately, shielding her face from the flashing cameras. Back at the scene, the set was trashed. Broken glass, flipped furniture, microphones scattered like crime scene evidence. It was a complete mess. Producers were reportedly in panic mode, and one staffer even whispered, "We're never getting renewed after this." You could practically hear the sound of VH1 execs scrambling to figure out how to spin this disaster into something remotely marketable. But this isn't where the story ends. Oh no, Mendeecees wasn't just facing a slap on the wrist. He was booked on charges that included disturbing the peace, assault, and even inciting a riot. Can you believe it? Inciting a riot at a Love and Hip Hop reunion. It was as if the whole thing was turning into a criminal investigation rather than a reunion show. As the news started spreading, people began to wonder, was this just a random outburst, or had Mendeecees been pushed to the edge? Meanwhile, Rashida wasn't about to let this slide either. In true reality TV fashion, she wasted no time flipping the situation into her own storyline. Within hours of the incident, she posted a cryptic Instagram story hinting at her next move. "Real queens don't move like pawns," she wrote, and fans quickly jumped to conclusions. Was this part of a bigger plot to get Mendeecees to snap? On camera? Had she been baiting him the whole time? Was she playing the victim for the cameras? The internet was in full-blown speculation mode. Of course, it didn't take long for other cast members to weigh in too. Kirk Frost, Rashida's husband, posted a mysterious meme on Instagram that fans immediately assumed was aimed at Mendeecees. The meme said, "When you throw dirt, expect to lose ground," and Twitter quickly exploded with fans speculating that it was a subtle shot at Mendeecees. Meanwhile, other former cast members, trying to grab a little relevance, jumped into the conversation, adding their 2 cents to the already messy situation. And then the leaks started. Yes, the drama had gotten so out of hand that even Mendeecees' camp was leaking details to the press. Allegedly, Mendeecees himself was preparing to do a tell-all interview, demanding a payout for his side of the story. He was ready to spill all the tea, claiming that Rashida had been gaslighting him the entire season. Of course, whether or not anyone was going to pay him for his story was another matter. The whole